Welcome to The Explainer. Today we're diving into a really beautiful book, Helwa's Secrets of Divine Love. Now, if you've ever felt that your spiritual life was, I don't know, more about rules than a real relationship, then this is for you. It offers this powerful alternative, viewing your entire spiritual path as a love story. The book kicks off with this incredible quote from the poet Rumi, and it really just sets the stage for everything we're about to talk about. It completely flips the script on how we usually think about love. See, it suggests that love isn't some external thing you have to go out and find. It's actually an inner reality you just have to uncover. And this is the big question the book asks you to consider. What if you just set aside the whole idea of religion as a list of obligations? Imagine, instead, that your spiritual journey is the greatest love story ever told, a path of returning to a deep, profound, and loving connection with the divine. So this love story, it all starts with the first big idea, the first secret, if you will, understanding that God is the origin of all love. The core premise here is that the entire universe, everything you see, feel, and experience, is a manifestation of this divine love. What's so powerful here is how this directly challenges some really common misconceptions. You know, the book argues that a lot of us carry around this image of a God who is distant, maybe even judgmental, but it proposes a totally different reality. A God who is closer than your own breath, who is infinitely merciful, and who is the unifying source of, well, everything. And here's what's so important to get. This divine love, it's not something you have to earn. It's not conditional. The book frames it as the fundamental, eternal reality of existence itself. It's this constant, loving presence that was here long before you and will be here long after you're gone. This idea of unconditional love is captured so beautifully in two of God's names from the Islamic tradition. First, you have Ar-Rahman. Think of this as this huge, all-encompassing mercy for all of creation. I'm talking every person, every animal, every single plant. And then there's Ar-Rahim, which is a more specific, kind of intimate mercy, just for those who actively turn towards God. The bottom line, that door is always, always open. All right, so if God is the source of all this love, then what's your role in the story? Well, this brings us to the second secret, and it's a big one. You are a divine reflection.
Now, this is such a powerful affirmation of your own worth. It's basically saying your existence is no accident. You were created intentionally, with purpose, by a loving source. And what that means is that your value, it isn't defined by your job or your successes or your failures. Nope. It's inherent in the very fact that you are. This whole perspective introduces this really beautiful concept called fitra. And the idea here is that every single human being is born with this pure, good core and a natural pull toward the divine. So get this, the spiritual journey isn't about becoming good, it's about returning to the goodness that's already deep inside you. And this leads to a pretty profound shift in how you see things, right? The spiritual path suddenly isn't about becoming someone totally new or adding all these layers or chasing some perfect version of yourself. No, instead, it's a journey of removal. It's about polishing the mirror of your heart, wiping away all the dust of ego and distraction so you can finally awaken from this illusion that you're separate and remember that divine connection that was there the whole time. Okay, so any journey of remembrance needs a map, right? And this is where the third secret comes in. It reframes the Qur'an, not as some dry rule book, but as a divine love letter. So instead of seeing the Qur'an as just a long list of do's and don'ts, the book invites you to imagine it as an intimate communication from the divine. Think about it, a love letter sent specifically to remind you of where you came from, what your purpose is, and the path that leads you back home. And you can see here just how multi-layered this love letter is. It's not just a guide. It's a mirror that shows us our inner state. It's a reminder of our connection to everything. It's even a source of deep, profound healing. The whole point is to awaken the heart, not just to command the body. All right, so we've got our map. Now what? Well, the fourth secret gets into the practical steps on the path, the actual practices for connection. And again, these are not framed as chores, but as powerful tools for, you guessed it, polishing the heart. See? It connects right back to that idea of polishing the mirror. These aren't just empty rituals you check off a list. Think of them more like ancient, time-tested technologies for spiritual transformation. They're designed specifically to purify our intentions and deepen that all-important divine connection. And this breakdown just lays it out so clearly. Prayer, it's not just reciting words, it's your daily spiritual charging station. Zakat, or charity, that's not just about giving away money. It's about you becoming a channel for God's compassion in the world. Fasting, that's all about detaching from the ego and mastering our inner desires. And the Hajj, the pilgrimage, is this incredible outer performance of the deep inner journey back to our source. And all these practices, they're designed to guide us through 3 distinct spiritual stations, or levels. It all starts with Islam, that's surrendering our outward actions to divine guidance. Then, through that consistent practice, we cultivate Iman, which is this deep, unshakable inner faith. And the ultimate goal? That's Ihsan. It's a state of spiritual excellence where you live with this constant, beautiful awareness that you are always, always in the presence of the divine.
Which brings us to our final secrets, and really, the ultimate purpose of this whole journey. It's not about arriving at some brand new destination. It's about the profound, beautiful act of simply returning home. You know, the concept of repentance gets this incredible rebrand here. The Arabic word for it is toba, and it literally means to return. So it's not about shame, it's not about guilt, it's just the simple, loving, and continuous act of turning back to our true, pure essence, back to that source of infinite mercy. And this is the promise that holds this entire journey together. I mean, no matter how far you think you've strayed, there is no mistake so big, no distance so far, that it could ever separate you from that mercy. That door to return, it is never, ever locked.
So ultimately, heaven and hell aren't just physical places you go to. They're states of being. Heaven is that profound feeling of closeness to the divine, when all the veils are finally removed. And hell, that's the deep, aching pain of feeling separate from the source of all love.
And really, this brings us full circle. It's the central message of Secrets of Divine Love. Your entire life, every single success, every failure, all the joy, all the sorrow, it's all part of this one sacred pilgrimage, a journey from God, with God, and back to the love of God. So the book leaves us with one final and really profound question to think about. We know that pilgrims circle the Kaaba in Mecca, but we all circle something in our own lives, don't we? So the question is, what's at the center of your life? What is in the Kaaba of your heart? It's a heavy question for sure, but one worth sitting with.